Hello. So I feel rotten. I feel terribly ill. I just can't cope. I don't know what to do. And I'm in a mess. I can't cope because I've got no family to look after me. So I know it's hard for people to think I don't come across as homeless. I'm glad I don't. I'm really glad I don't come across like that. Because the ones that are homeless are all the same caliber. I know they're all on drugs and alcohol and they've been to prison and they all behave the same way. They have that funny fast walk like this. I don't know whether that's speed or what makes them do that, but they do. I can hardly walk anyway because I've got severe arthritis of the hip that needs an immediate replacement that needed one 4 years ago. I'm not getting it now, am I? So, I mean, the thing is, I'm just left to decay and nobody cares, and this is the God's honest truth. I've got nobody. I have no other family, only my mother, who's in a nursing home, who couldn't give a shit about me, who has, by the way, cut me off completely, has not given me any money, and she's just deserted me. She's put herself in a luxury care home and left me on the streets to die, and that's the God's honest truth. It's wicked what she's done. When I think about what she's done, it's terrible, and there I am, my nanny turning in her grave. She loved me so much. I wish she was here to come and collect me. I'm so unhappy. I don't want to cry on here because you can't hear me when I'm crying and things. I'm going to try not to. I did cry before, but hysterically, where I was sick. But I'm not going to cry now because I've got to talk sensibly. I don't know when this gets mounted on here, downloaded or whatever you call it. It takes time for me to sit somewhere with the internet access, and then you have to give it a few hours. It takes hours to load anything, doesn't it? Anyway, I just feel so low with everything. I mean, it was terrible. This TV thing's going ahead, whether that will or not. When that happens, I don't know. Yeah, and they did make that thing somebody mentioned on here. Oh yeah, some film ages ago, and she did that Suicide Pact in Tenerife, and Julie Walters was going to play her. They approached her first, they wanted her, but she refused it because she's a good woman. She's a decent woman, a proper actress, Julie Walters. She wouldn't get involved with anything like that, and I don't blame her. I mean, it's terrible what happened. I mean, that was a terrible, disgusting documentary anyway. It was ridiculous. But if anything, it made me out to just be the victim on it anyway, if you watched it. But it was shit anyway, that's why they didn't put it back over on the TV again. But the thing is, the girl wasn't like me at all, you know. Actually, she was glamorous, so it's a bit pathetic. It's nothing like me at all. So they were rubbish at it. And the thing was, it was an illegal drama anyway, because I didn't sign it. My mother forged my signature on the contract for it. So that's not very good, really, is it? No. So that might even be looked into at a further date, because the first time she forced me to sign it, and the woman was with her in the flat, and she came into her flat in Birmingham, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want a part of it. But she said, if you don't do it, she said she was going to throw herself off the balcony there, then and there. Yep, Richard Nicholas knows all about this. He was my solicitor at the time, but then he's retired and I've lost contact with him now. So, because he's not getting paid to deal with me, so he doesn't really want to be a friend. That's how people are, you see. When they're being paid to deal with me with legal aid, they're okay with me. But when they don't get paid anymore, they don't want to know. That's how everyone is now. I know what it's like. So, anyway, I didn't sign the contract. She forged my signature, and that can be proved, because my signature's my signature. It's the same all the time. And hers, goodness knows what type of shape it was. But she'd have written my name in a funny way, but it wasn't my signature. So she doesn't know my signature. So there you go. So they didn't check that. So that shouldn't have gone ahead, because I was against it and didn't want it going ahead, because I think it was detrimental towards him and towards me, because it was lies. Because to begin with, none of it was his idea. He didn't want to do anything. He was terrified of her. He certainly didn't want to kill himself. He was scared shitless of her. He just did everything she did, and in the end, she wore him down to such a point. That's what she does. She wears you to the point where you give up and you don't care anymore. It's like me, I give up. I'm like suicidal. But I haven't got the guts. I've tried, in the past. I felt so low with it all because she wore me down. But I haven't got the guts to actually go ahead with it. So I'm going to end up starving on streets like this until somebody eventually does rescue me. But I'm hoping that you could send this to somebody who cares. If there are teenagers watching this, maybe your parents can send it to somebody in power. Somebody needs to see this video, because I am being forced to sleep outside by the corrupt Chester West Council. It's Cheshire and Chester West Council, UK, in the northwest of England. and they have refused me any accommodation. They say I am not on the books anymore, and the reason is because I refuse to be raped by heroin addicts in a filthy, urine-drenched hostel at the back of a seedy B&B in Hoole Road, Hoole, called the Dean, with an appalling name that everybody knows. So there you have it, and that's the truth of the matter, and you can check that out anywhere because it's complete truth. And the police will vouch for me because they said that is a shithole themselves, and they said it wasn't suitable for a person like me. And the policeman's told me to go to the council offices and lay down and demand they do something. He said, because we won't arrest you, we're on your side. He said it's disgusting the way they're treating people, and they've been given loads of money. That's what they told me, the police, that Cheshire West Council have been given loads of money, more than other councils, yet they're not spending a penny on helping people. It's disgraceful, isn't it? An outrage. But that's what they're like, they're corrupt. But they've got a name for being corrupt. Because every time you mention who are you with, Cheshire West Council, oh, don't talk to me about them, they're corrupt. Those are the words that people tell me on buses every single day when I speak to a woman or something, and they start chatting to me, and she said, are you all right? When they see me crying or looking depressed. And I said, oh, I just feel awful, I can't take anyone. Tell them the situation. And I just can't take any more. But I don't know what to do. I'm thinking of hitchhiking or something again, going to another part of the country. I was born in Cornwall. I'm thinking of going there maybe in a day or two. I don't know what to do. I really don't know, to see whether it's better there. I don't know whether it is. But then again, they say I'm under Chester West. And London, that were very cooperative and wanted to help me, said on the computer it was under Chester West. They were meant to help me, and they just left me on the streets of London and refused to help me. So that's outrageous. And the doctor, I haven't got a decent GP because everyone says they're meant to help you. He won't help me. The one I've got is useless, this man that comes on the phone. I said I wanted a woman anyway. I can't stand this man. But he just wants to get rid of me, because all he wants to do is shove me with the homeless doctor. But you can't go there because that's a methadone centre, that place. And what it is it's all the druggies that go there, the homeless centre. So you can't go in and out of the building safely if you need to see somebody, because you could get raped and mugged on the way in and out. The police agree with me. They think it's highly dangerous for someone like me. The policeman I spoke to one day, long conversation, he said, no, you're best to stick with an ordinary surgery. Don't move. They can't move. You've done nothing wrong. So he tried to palm me off because they want an easy life. It's terrible, isn't it? So he won't help me at all. He won't even cut my toenail. He's left me with this overgrown toenail. And I can't shut it down on the phone now. I'd show you. I'd have to get this boot off. I'm on a bench. And it's terrible because I can't bend. I've got severe arthritis of the hip. And I can't put my hand any further than my knee. So I can't cut my toenail, and it's really long. And the reason they haven't cut it in the camper van is because he's got Parkinson's, the start of it, and he's shaking a bit like that with his hands, so he's steady. And she can't see. She's got some short, long-sightedness problem or something. She's got these glasses on that don't work, that are broken. And she tried to cut it, and she couldn't see. It was a blur, and she was frightened she was going to have my fucking foot off. So she hasn't managed to get it off. So, and I can't ask strangers on the street to remove my toenail. So I'm up against it, and I couldn't ask Pete, could I? You know, he was tidily dressed, come from London, a presentable man. I couldn't ask him, can you please get could you whip my toenail off in that bloody Hilton Hotel in Liverpool? Could I really? No. And I can't afford to go to a Chiropodist because the cheapest is 30 quid. I'm living below the poverty line. I'm living on under £100 a week. That's all I have left for me to live off. That's all I've got. And I've got no other money at all, because that's what the benefits give you. And they strip the rest off me for money I owe in the storage unit. And all I'm left with is under 100 quid a week to live off. So it's not very good, is it? No. So how can I afford anything? So I just have to stagnate in my clothes because I can't afford to go to the laundrette. I can't afford to go to a swimming pool. I can't afford anything anymore. I can't cope. All I can do is try and get a bit of food down me every day. And that's all I can do. And I feel bloody rotten because I need somewhere to sleep. I don't know how I'm still alive. I don't want to be. I'd rather be dead than this, because this is horrible. It's not that you want to be dead. It's not that. You can't say, oh, it's mental, oh, it's depression. It's not depression. Because if I had a place, I certainly wouldn't be depressed. If I had my own home that was nice, I'd be fine. I'd just get on with it. I'd be in pain with my hip, but I'd go and see a doctor. I'd get on with it. But this is the matter of the fact is, because I'm living outside and I'm feeling absolutely terrible because I've got ME and I should be sleeping in a bed. And I mean, it's disgusting. And I mean, apparently they said once you're 55, by law, then they have to do something. They cannot do anything then. Somebody said it'll be somebody else taking control then, age concern or something, after 55. Once you're hit 55, I've got 4 years of this. I'm only 51. I can't cope with 4 fucking years living outside. I mean, last winter was terrible. I mean, I was frozen standing under those trees, absolutely shaking. And then I was getting on that bus at 6 a.m, sleeping all the way and shivering, and I couldn't get warm. And then I go into a bathroom and put my hands under hot water until they were burning me hot to get some warmth into me. And this is how I'm living. And this is what she's done to me, my evil mother, who couldn't give a shit about me, who's left me on the streets to die. And that's the honest truth, but she doesn't care. She just doesn't care. And there I am, my grandmother turning a grave. And there she is, she just couldn't care less. She's got 3 punches, she's not put a penny in for me. She's just left me on the streets and doesn't give a shit. And it's absolutely disgusting. She controlled my life and gave me money every day and controlled me, so I didn't know what I was doing. So I was under her control. Then suddenly, she then dumps me, gets herself put in this luxury care home, wherever that is, in northern Wales, and she's just left me on the streets. And she's got she gets 3 pensions: my father's pension, her teacher's pension, and I don't know what age pension. Most people only get old age pension. She gets all those. She's in a luxury care home, and she's left me on the streets and couldn't give a second thought for me. She put no money in, nothing, not even on my birthday. That's how low it is. She doesn't care. She hasn't tried to contact me. At the beginning, she tried police and all that because she couldn't get the control. But she doesn't care whether I'm alive or dead. She just couldn't care less. Mind you, she told me from the age of about 21 that I should kill myself, that I'm useless and haven't got anything going for me. So being told that from a young age, it's not a good thing, is it? Let's face it. It's a good job I had my grandmother, or I wouldn't have been shown love. That's all I'm saying. Because he didn't care less. He just didn't care, that's all. He was just petrified of her and did everything she said because she had him like a puppet. Nothing that came out of his mouth was his own words, nothing. He was petrified of her. And so that drama that they put on then is a complete and utter lie. So, I mean, that's the thing. It makes it out like he did it all. And she's the innocent one. Completely from the truth. She was the one who did it all. She's the instigator. She's the one who planned everything. He just went along with it because he was petrified of her and didn't know what to do. I mean, I had a shock. I was absolutely shocked. I had no idea. And when he came to the house, the police had been, and I was shaking myself. And she came out of school. And I said, oh my God, the police arrested him. What's going on? Oh, he's stupid. She said, he's too straight-laced. He's too straight-laced or something. Oh, I had to take control or something. And she told him to steal from the post office and get this money or something, so she could have more money, because she was taking me to all these psychiatrists to get a diagnosis for me, because they wouldn't put me down as retarded or completely insane. So she didn't like the fact that I have gender dysphoria and wanted to get a diagnosis to tell everyone I'm severely mentally ill and all this, which, what's the point? Because no one gives a shit. Why would you care what other people think? I certainly don't anymore. I know nobody out there gives a shit about me. So, I mean, I'm just trying to survive. But there are some decent people, like today, earlier on, a lady held my hand. She saw me crying, she came up to me, she said, I want to hug you, and she held my hand. Because it was a lady, a nice, refined lady, elderly, I let her do that. If it had been a man, there's no bloody way, you know. But, I mean, unless he's gay. But, I mean, the thing is, it was okay, that. But, I mean, the thing is, the whole thing is terrible. And it's just there's so many people, aren't there, probably like me, innocent in the world, surrounded by corrupt people who are taking control. This is it. I saw a man not long ago that used to live in the flats where I used to live in Heswell. And he was so nice, John. He's still with the man that beats him up over there to get the police out, where he gets violent with him. Every time this man gets drunk, he beats him to a pulp. And he couldn't get away because he didn't have any money, and he had loads of money, and he was looking after him. So in the end of the day, he can be bought, and he's controlled by him, having his luxury clothes, having his luxury holidays, but being beaten to a pulp. Or he could go his own separate ways. But probably the council wouldn't help him either. If something stepped up and they gave you suitable accommodation and enough money to live off, maybe he could get to safety too, because he had no other family like me. So, I mean, the thing is, it's terrible. I mean, if they were doing something decent, but I don't think it's every council. I think it's just, I mean, Chester West Council is known for being corrupt. You've only got to open your mouth and everyone says, don't talk to me about them. This woman got really angry the other day on the bus. She said, I'm not even talking about it, she said. And she turned her back on me. She said, they are evil. And that was it, and she wouldn't say any more. And I told her what they'd done to me. She said, yep. She's like, yes, they have done that to you, and it's disgusting. I mean, it's awful. She said she wasn't going to tell them what they'd done to her. I don't think she's homeless, but I don't know what happened to her. But she said that they'd abused her or something as well. But that doesn't surprise me. But the fact of the matter is, they'll probably take this video down there. But I haven't mentioned any names on here from the council, so they can't. So no, because I've not done anything detrimental to anybody's character. I'm just saying the truth of the things that are happening to me. So, I mean, the thing is, it's not okay. None of this is okay. I'm a victim in all of it, and I want somebody to help me. I deserve somebody to get me out of this mess before it is too late, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't feel safe at all. I feel like I could just go in anyone's car at the moment, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so tired. And at night, if somebody comes up to you and they say they want to help you, you'd just cry and you'd go with them, wouldn't you, to get off the streets. Because Chester West Council say I'm not on the books anymore and I have to live outside permanently, which I can't do. So if you are watching this and you're teenagers, report this to your mother and father so they can see me, show them the video and tell them that I'm on the streets of Chester, and you can email me. I don't know whether I can get it. It's when I can get internet access to receive it. pinkbabybutton6@gmail.com, and I might get the message on there. I can't really give my phone number out because I get all sorts of weirdos ringing me, so I can't do that, and I'll have to change the number. I won't do that at the moment. But if you could do that, that'd be all right. But try and get someone to help me, or post the video to lots of people online, because I'm useless with the internet. All I can manage is this. You just record and upload. That's all I'm doing. And then it just connects again when you get to a McDonald's or something where there's internet access, or Costa or whatever. I can't even afford to go into those places now. But I mean, I don't want to waste £4 in a Costa with a drink, do I? Not when I can get this for